Wait a second, because none of this kicked off with threats or legal drama. There was no chaotic blowout, no headline-smashing fight that set things in motion. It actually started with something far more fragile. Hope, real hope, and that's exactly why what followed hit so much harder. When Cardi B thought she had finally stepped into something new, people around her weren't skeptical. They were relieved. After surviving years of public chaos and heartbreak in her very messy and painfully complicated relationship with Offset, she looked like someone finally chasing peace instead of just surviving storms. Then Stefon Diggs appeared, calm, charming, almost suspiciously reassuring. He spoke the right words at the right moments, the kind of promises that sound like rescue when you've endured too much disappointment. Sources close to them said he built a sense of security around her, something she hadn't felt in forever. He didn't just offer love. He offered stability. He told her he would act differently. He told her she deserved better than what she had known before. And for a while, it really seemed like Cardi B believed every word he said. Soon, they stepped into the spotlight together. The relationship went public. And from the outside, everything looked steady and unshakable. She was at the games cheering louder than anyone else in the stands, standing beside him with unmistakable pride. Her support was obvious, constant, and impossible to miss. Then came the pregnancy announcement, and suddenly the story felt like it had turned into something bigger, something permanent. It looked like a new chapter unfolding in real time. A clean slate, a second chance, a family built on promises that sounded stronger than the past. Their baby arrived in November 2025, and for a brief stretch, the world seemed calm. Cardi B appeared peaceful in a way fans hadn't seen before. Stefon Diggs carried himself like a proud father, fully present in the moment. Supporters started whispering that maybe this time would be different. Maybe this was a relationship that would finally last. But then came the night that flipped everything upside down, the Super Bowl, and suddenly nothing felt normal. The Patriots suffered a brutal loss, and Stefon Diggs' performance was already under fire from commentators and analysts. But the real drama wasn't happening under stadium lights. It was creeping quietly in the shadows. Social media blew up with speculation. Screenshots started circulating. His other child's mother showed up at the game, wearing his jersey, posting like she owned the place. Then fresh rumors spread about another woman, someone with official team credentials reportedly seen hovering around him all night. And the whispers didn't stop there. Word got out that after the loss, someone may have been discreetly escorted into his hotel room long after cameras left. Nothing officially confirmed. No statements. No admissions, yet the timing alone sparked suspicion. The optics told their own story. The situation felt messy, chaotic, impossible to ignore. Reports claimed Cardi B left the stadium before the second half even ended. The massive after-party she allegedly spent over $1 million planning vanished without explanation. By sunrise, something had clearly shifted. They unfollowed each other online, a quiet digital signal louder than any announcement. No emotional speeches, no dramatic interviews, no visible fights. Just silence, a sharp and sudden separation that looked surgical in precision. From outside, it seemed clean and final, or at least that's what everyone assumed. Cardi B threw herself into touring, burying herself in work and motion. Her posts switched tone, all about self-love, healing, and guarding her peace at all costs. The message felt deliberate, almost quiet closure. To the public, it looked like she was choosing strength over chaos, independence over heartbreak. Calm seemed to return. But behind closed doors, the situation reportedly grew far more complicated than anyone realized. The romance may have ended, but a newborn still tied them in ways impossible to erase. And that's when the story allegedly got darker, emotional wounds blending into something heavier than a breakup, according to quiet reports. Stefon Diggs' mother began pushing for more access to the baby. Not casual visits or gentle talks, but sources described firm, increasingly intense demands. Conversations about extended stays and structured custody reportedly felt less like requests and more like expectations. Some insiders claim the language behind the scenes didn't sit right, leaving people close to the situation uneasy about what might come next. The words reportedly hitting the hardest were aimed directly at Cardi B, phrases like, "He's mine, too." And if you pause and really picture that moment, it hits heavier than it sounds. Imagine being the mother of a 3-month-old baby, still recovering, still adjusting, already carrying the weight of public embarrassment and private betrayal, and then hearing someone talk about your child like ownership could be divided. That's when everything reportedly flipped. That's when the emotional heat reportedly rose in a way that couldn't be easily cooled. Insiders say Cardi B wasn't fazed by co-parenting itself. She understood the reality. What shocked her was the tone in the conversations, the sense of entitlement, the pressure that came out of nowhere, and what made it worse was the timing. According to circulating reports, the push for more access allegedly ramped up once it was clear she wasn't reconciling with Stefon Diggs. What once sounded like grandmotherly concern reportedly started looking like quiet positioning in a battle for influence. From sources' perspective, it seemed less like affection and more like a struggle for control. And one thing people close to her insist, Cardi B was not emotionally in a place to be challenged. She stayed silent through the Super Bowl fallout. She hadn't publicly embarrassed Stefon Diggs. She hadn't aired private grievances or turned social media into a war zone. Most importantly, she hadn't blocked him from seeing his son. By nearly every account, she handled the separation with restraint and maturity. But every story has a breaking point, a line that changes everything once crossed. According to reports, that line arrived when one word entered the conversation: CPS. Rumors claim Cardi B allegedly warned she might involve Child Protective Services, and the reaction online exploded immediately. The internet lit up because CPS isn't casually mentioned. It isn't a frustration tantrum. It's a move that signals the situation has reached its most serious level. To clarify, no confirmed reports show she officially filed any complaint. What sources say instead is she issued a warning, a firm boundary to send a crystal clear message. According to those accounts, if pressure continued and custody demands escalated, she was ready to use every legal avenue to protect her child, even hinting at that action carries weight beyond normal disagreements. When a mother brings up CPS, the signal goes far deeper than step back. It screams preparation. It screams documentation. It screams readiness to turn private conflict into formal legal proceedings if a child's well-being feels at risk. That single warning alone can permanently shift the dynamic between families, turning an emotional dispute into legal territory almost overnight. Sources align with her side claim. Cardi B felt something deep had already broken. From her reported perspective, if Stefon Diggs' family saw what she allegedly went through during the Super Bowl fallout and stayed silent, trusting their judgment around her baby became impossible. In her view, loyalty to Stefon Diggs didn't automatically equal protection for her son. Sources say she wasn't trying to start a war or escalate drama unnecessarily. She believed she was guarding her space as a mother. She believed her boundaries needed to be crystal clear. And if the accounts are accurate, what she drew wasn't a temporary line in the sand. It was a boundary meant to hold, no matter how awkward or tense the situation got. But here's where things got messy. Because while Cardi B reportedly stayed measured, controlled, and unshakable, Stefon Diggs' reaction went complete opposite direction. Before the CPS warning hit, insiders painted him as reflective, withdrawn, almost weighed down by thought. Quiet rumors suggested he'd been seriously reconsidering his actions, thinking about what kind of father he wanted to be, replaying how everything unraveled publicly. Some close to him said he was moving toward accountability, that seeing Cardi B shine on tour and talk about protecting her peace hit him harder than anyone expected. Maybe, for the first time, he truly realized what he lost. Then the CPS warning appeared, and reportedly everything flipped overnight. According to multiple reports, he felt blindsided, frustrated, angry, stunned that the situation escalated that far. From his alleged perspective, bringing CPS into custody talks felt extreme, far beyond a normal boundary. To him, it reportedly wasn't protection, it was a strike. And since his mother was indirectly tied to that warning, emotions allegedly intensified even more. That's when the energy shifted from quiet reflection to something explosive. Sources claim he reacted strongly, not publicly, not on a dramatic livestream, but privately, emotionally, away from cameras. The calm version of Stefon Diggs described weeks earlier reportedly disappeared instantly. Suddenly, it wasn't about personal growth or reflection anymore. It became about defense, pride, standing up for family. And that's where things got painfully complicated, deeply human. From one side, you see a mother protecting her child and setting boundaries. From the other, a son defending his mother from what feels like a serious legal threat. Both sides feel justified. And when both feel right, conflict spirals fastest. The internet predictably split immediately. Some voices praise Cardi B for being strong, decisive, and protective. Others argued she pushed things too far, too fast. Some insisted CPS warnings should only appear in the most serious scenarios. Others defended mother's absolute right to guard her child by any means necessary. But beyond the trending opinions and hashtags, there is still a newborn at the center of this mess. And that reality makes us feel less like celebrity drama and more like a real family crisis playing out live in front of millions. Because once CPS enters a conversation, even as a warning, it cannot easily be undone. The tone shifts, trust erodes, conversations stiffen, lawyers hover in the background, reconciliation becomes harder to picture. What makes this story shocking isn't just a conflict. It's how dramatically the direction pivoted in such a short span. Only weeks earlier, people believed this to become a respectful separation. Two adults who couldn't make romance work, yet could still raise their child peacefully. That kind of scenario happens all the time. Rarely perfect, but manageable. Then family stepped in, and family changes everything. Once relatives get involved, especially in high-profile cases, emotions escalate fast. Pride mixes with protection. Boundaries harden. Suddenly, it's no longer about two people seeking balance. It's about legacy, influence, authority, and control. Observers tracking the situation closely suggest this may mark the real breaking point. Not cheating rumors, not the Super Bowl fallout, but the rising pressure over custody. Because when someone's role as a parent is challenged, the emotional sting cuts deeper than romantic betrayal ever could. From Cardi B's reported perspective, she felt cornered, pushed beyond comfort, disrespected in ways she couldn't ignore. People close to her say that when she feels trapped, she doesn't move quietly, she moves decisively. From Stefon Diggs' alleged perspective, it may feel blown out of proportion, like private issues turning unnecessarily formal and threatening. That emotional gap seems to grow with every passing moment. What makes it tragic is that both, at different times, seem to want growth and stability. There was a version of this story where Stefon Diggs reflected, maybe offered a public apology, maybe rebuilt trust slowly as co-parents, but anger rewrites endings. And when pride tangles with family loyalty, weeks of progress vanish in seconds. Now, the biggest question hanging over all this is simple but heavy. Can any of it be reversed? Once CPS is mentioned, even hypothetically, the atmosphere shifts. Things turn colder. Legal talk becomes possible. Communication grows structured. Trust narrows into something fragile. The reflective space Stefon Diggs was reportedly entering may already be slipping away. At the same time, Cardi B's message is crystal clear. She is unwavering when it comes to her son. She isn't negotiating her authority, and she isn't afraid to use every system available if pressure continues. Two strong personalities, one newborn, one fractured relationship, an extended family caught squarely in the middle. The most shocking part? How fast everything escalated. From romance and promises in May, to a baby in November, to Super Bowl humiliation in February, to a CPS warning just weeks later, it all unraveled at lightning speed. Maybe that's a real lesson here. Celebrity or not, boundaries ignored early don't vanish. They harden. And when they harden enough, pressure bursts. Right now, nobody knows what happens next. Will Stefon Diggs cool off and return to that reflective mindset he was reportedly entering? Will both sides step back and find a peaceful path forward? Or has something already happened that permanently reshapes how they interact? In the end, social media moves on. Fans argue, comment sections stay loud. But co-parenting doesn't end when headlines fade, and decisions made in anger leave lasting scars. That's why this story feels bigger than ordinary drama. It's a turning point, a moment when two people stood at the crossroads of escalation and resolution, and emotion made the call. Now, all that's left is to see who chooses calm first. Whoever does may decide if this becomes a courtroom war or a lesson in how even the wildest conflicts can still be cool before burning everything down.